الصيام كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakumullah khairan, Ya Maulavi. I would like to invite Dr. Abdul Kamal Nasser, who is the founder of Quran Academic Chennai chapter, and he will enlighten about our chief host, about Qari Imran Khan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the late hours of Ramadan, for Indian it is almost midnight. You all are eagerly waiting to learn from the Qari Imran Khan how to recite Holy Quran. On behalf of Understand Quran Academy, Chennai, I deem it honored to introduce Qari Imran Khan, an international reciter of glorious Al-Qur'an. Qari Imran Khan has conducted more than 100 workshops on Tajweed, more than 50 Azan workshops in different cities of the world, covering United States of America, London, Scotland, Middle East, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and in India. 2 years back, Understand Quran Academy Chennai chapter conducted a program. The reason for the vast dedicated service by Qari Imran Khan emerges from is learning from the great reciters, from Imam of Makkah Haram Sharif, Sheikh Ali Zafir, Sheikh Sayyid Jibrail from Egypt, and 4 years of committed learning from the Sheikh Ammar Nasir from Saudi Arabia. For the 4 years, he learned intricate details of the Tajweed. He was introduced to his teacher, whose chain of reciters goes back to Ubay bin Ka'b, Zayd bin Thabit, and directly to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he got honor of Azan certification from the famous Syrian Tajweed legend, Sheikh Abdul Rahman Abdul Aziz Ayun as-Saud. Alhamdulillah, it is a great opportunity. We are going to hear from him. And basically, he is a BTech engineer from Memorial University, Newfoundland, Canada. Today, he has become a great reciter. Alhamdulillah, today nearly 800 participants are attending now. This program was organized with a committed and dedicated hard work by a team headed by our founder, Understand Quran Academy, Chennai chapter founder, Mohideen Ghazali, in coordination with our headquarters founder, Dr. Abdul Aziz, founder and director of Understand Quran Academy, Hyderabad, and a team has worked hard, particularly including the brother Sheikh Mastan. Let us pray for them. May Allah reward them suitably. Alhamdulillah, we are very eager to hear from Qari Imran Khan. Now it is over. I invite Qari Imran Khan to conduct the program. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair. It gives me great pleasure to come for the first time on this virtual platform, Zoom platform, in the situation where everybody is under lockdown, and also we are undergoing the month of Ramadan, the month of Quran, and Bismillah ta'ala, we will explore very briefly on the concept of basically to recite the Quran the way it is supposed to be recited, and hopefully it may clear a couple of doubts. If you have any questions, clarifications, concerns, you're more than welcome to ask in the chat box, as well as you have been given the contact, you can ask over there as well. So learn the concept to recite Al-Qur'an with Tajweed the effective and easy way. Kindly try to focus on the title. It says the concept to recite, because it is a program of 1 hour. Of course, it's impossible for anybody to learn anything within 1 hour's time. However, we will try our level best to share the concept of learning Tajweed the effective and easy way. To understand the significance of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the last part of Surah Al-Hashr, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. Basically, the translation goes something like this, that if the Quran was revealed on a mountain, you would have seen it humbling itself to the ground by the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can understand that this Quran is quite powerful. Never underestimate the power of this Quran. So how can we get an idea of getting that power, that voltage of the Quran? We have to approach the Quran. We have to recite the Quran. We have to read the Quran. Majority of us are not Arabic speakers. We are non-Arab. So this means that we require extra training to learn how to recite the Quran. At the same time, in Surah Muzammil, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, and recite the Quran in a slow and pleasant tone. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing to recite the Quran slowly and in a pleasant tone. So basically, the word tartil means rules of tajweed plus the aspect of pleasantness in our voice. So two aspects combined together forms tartil. وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. So you recite the Quran with the rules of recitation. We will look at that. And also we will examine what is qira'ah. So today, we are only going to explore the entire definition, the concept of how we can learn the Quran and how we can recite the Quran in the most effective way, inshallah. Couple of preconditions for this course. This course is for the one who knows how to recite the Quran. However, they do not know the right way to recite it, or they do not have the knowledge of rules of recitation, in other words, known as Tajweed. So there are basic rights of the Quran before we get into the depth of our program. Number one right, the first right is to believe in the Quran regardless of the fact whether you know how to recite the Quran or not. We have to believe that this is the Quran, this is the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second haqq is to recite the Quran. The third haqq of the Quran is to understand the meanings. The fourth is to implement the meanings and the teachings in our lives. And the final haqq is to spread this to others. خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. Both in Bukhari and Muslim it has been reported. So Tajweed is only a
Hello? Hello? Hello?
don't mind.
Your screen is not visible. Huh?
Yes. Can I continue?
Your screen. Share the screen again.
Okay. No issues.
Please close and share the screen again.
Yes. No issues.
Screen is not visible.
Okay, I'll share it again. Don't worry about it. Okay, are you able to see that?
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. There was some background noise, so that's the reason why I probably got disconnected or something. So now we have some wonderful, Makharij, okay, along with Makharij and with some Sifaat. Let me recite the Quran and memorize it. So this is, you can say, it's like rules clues, okay, if you will. This helps us to understand and memorize the definition of a tajweed in a unique way. So all the material, probably, if you are going to be a continuous student, you'll receive that, inshallah. As I mentioned, this only to highlight the significance and to give you a feeling that it is easy to learn tajweed. It's not difficult. So we have 7 makharij. You have 6 attributes, which are known as the characteristics, or in Arabic known as Sifaat. Then you have the rule of lam, the rule of mim, the rule of ra. Quran is Quran. And you have the rule of noon, okay? So basically, memorize is the rule of med, and it initialize and terminate, wuquf and ibtida. This is a very important aspect of tajweed, especially the last part, initialization and termination, because one time Ali radiallahu anhu was asked by one of the Sahaba, and he was asked, what is tajweed, basically? So the answer was that ma'rifatul huruf wal wuquf. It is the knowledge of the letters and wuquf, of stops. So this is an essential aspect of learning tajweed. As long as somebody knows the huruf, that means basically all the letters, how they're supposed to be pronounced, the characteristics and everything around it, as well as the stops. So that's in a nutshell what tajweed is. So now let's look at the technical definition that I've talked about. Okay, so these rules basically occur on every page. Every page that you open, you'll have all these rules. Okay, so you have the makharij, you have the sifat, you have the rule of lam, you have the rule of ra, you have the rule of mim, and the rest. On every page, in every line. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary for us to learn tajweed, the art of recitation of Quran. Now, you have a sample page. Can everybody see that? I'm sure that there is a sample page from one of the copies of the Quran, and we've just taken one rule, which is called as the qalqala. And you can see that we have about 6 times it has occurred. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, approximately. But in some pages, you have more than 6 times. So if you try to count the frequency, it comes more than thousands and thousands of times. That means if you learn just qalqala, which is qutubu jad, 5 letters, qa, ta, ba, jim, dal. So, for example, when you recite Surah Al-Ikhlas, if you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you say Qul huwa Allahu ahad, but you cannot hear the last part, which is the dal, then it is wrong. So you say ahad. So that is qalqala. So if you just fix qalqala itself, you're fixing a big portion of the rules of tajweed. So the next one is lam yalid wa lam yulad. This is a surah that we recite on a daily basis. So you have a lot of qalqala in Surah Al-Ikhlas. So what you need to do is write down these letters. You have the qa, you have qa, you have ba, jim, dal, 5 letters. And you put an alif, that is aqo, aqo, ab, aj, ad. And this way, it gives you that resonation. It comes back into the throat, and that is the definition of qalqala. Now, problems of makharij when you are pronouncing. Extremely, extremely important. Wallahu alim. This is the word. So, wallahu, no doubt, Allah, alim, all-knowing. But if you change from a to hamza to alif, wallahu alim, astaghfirullah, the meaning changes entirely. So we have to be extremely, extremely careful on how to pronounce that particular letter. So wallahu alim, a comes from here. Wallahu alim, a comes from the hollow part of your mouth. So wallahu alim, this is extremely important. So these are the key things. In other words, you can say the USPs of learning tajweed. Sifaat. Now, Allahu aka. So this part, you're supposed to say the Arabic way and say ak. There's a softness over there. That softness is extremely important for us to understand. And when you recite it, you say Allahu akbar. Many people do not know this rule, and they say, oh, we have heard the reciter saying ak. No. If they extend that ka too much, then that is wrong. It has to be slight, and it is called as hams. There is continuity in your breathing. So ak, Allah. Now this Allah, I'm going to talk to you about how to pronounce it properly, the lafzul jalala, and how we can fix it as well. So many people say Allah, and we'll try to look at it, how and why we can try to understand the reason. The next point to remember is khalaqna. Khalaqna means we created. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says we created. But if you reduce the alif part, the meaning changes entirely. Now, khalaqna, that gives another meaning entirely, and it is as those women created. Astaghfirullah. Again, a huge disaster. So we have to be extremely, extremely careful when we recite the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many people say it is the objective of the Quran, the purpose of revelation of the Quran is so that we can understand and try to implement the meanings and the message of the Quran in our lives. That's right. However, if you take an effort to recite the Quran properly, you get ajr, inshallah. So we'll talk about that aspect as well. Now, why do we have mistakes? First, improper learning. Perhaps we did not get that kind of opportunity in our childhood. Mother tongue effects carried into Arabic, whether you're an Urdu speaker, whether you're a Tamil speaker, whether you're a Malayali speaker, or it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever your background is, it makes that influence on your recitation. So for example, an Arab would have huge difficulty in pronouncing the word, for example, P. So they say ba, right? So vice versa, a person who has difficulty in pronouncing a, for example, how many of us, especially from the Indo-Pak area, so when we want to say the word Ali, so how many times do we say Ali? And when we want to say salam, let me take much more practical example. When we greet each other, we say assalamu alaikum. So where is the a part? So we say assalamu alaikum, and there are huge distortions of that as well. It says assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. So many distortions that I don't want to get into. The proper way is assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. So that's the proper pronunciation of that. Similarly, when we are reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin, or It comes directly from the center of your throat and you say ah, ah. So these are the kind of things that we have to take care, and inshallah you will learn in our course. No exposure to Tajweed. Many a times, a lot of people do not have exposure to Tajweed. They did not get a chance to learn the art of recitation. Right. Once you start learning Tajweed and you start reciting, it will give you a sense of inspiration, sense of joy, motivation to get closer to the divine revelation, as well as gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You get the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it says وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, we are actually, if you focus on the term that has been used, and it has to do with the Arabic usage of the term. You have the past tense in Arabic, you have the present tense, and then if you just put a sa or sawfa, that becomes future. And at the same time, you have something called as the imperative order, where it is called as fi'l amr. So over here, it is not a request. Or if you get an opportunity whenever you are free, in your holidays, if you can, if you will. No. It is a direct command and a direct order by the creator of this universe. I says, وَرَتِّلْ, and recite the Qur'an. So it is extremely, extremely important for us to understand this aspect. So Allah is saying that learn and try to recite the Qur'an the way it is supposed to be recited. Go to the next point. Clarification of our course. Again, we're teaching the concept to recite the Qur'an. Learning Tajweed takes a lot of effort, but we are trying to reduce that effort. It takes weeks, months, and sometimes even years, depending upon the level that you want to achieve. But this course, inshallah, will give you the basics, introduce you to the main rules, guide you to implement these rules in simple and effective ways, inshallah. We would definitely applaud the effort of Dr. Abdulaziz, the founder of Understand Al-Qur'an Academy, along with his dynamic team, who have developed a wonderful poem for Arabic letters. Now, if we ask, has anybody come across a wonderful poem for Arabic letters? People may come forward and say, yes, we can say alifun, ba'un, ta'un. Hold on. Just the mere fact for somebody to say alif itself is hard, adding un makes it harder. So alifun, ba'un becomes harder. So the way the research went is the poem has been designed in accordance to the pronunciation. And the poem sounds something like this. It is a simple poem which has the Makharij, articulation and pronunciation, and it will help us to remember the letters on your fingertips, and it will be easy for us to start practicing them. So it says, ma, ba, wa, fa are from the lips. Tongue has many, 12 from the tip. The, va, the, ba, za, sa, sa, la, na, ra. From its middle are ja, sha, ya. From its edges are ba, ka, ba. 6 from the throat. Ha, a, ha, ra, kha. So this, in a nutshell, is the entire letters that come in the Arabic language. Now, if you have this kind of poem, not only an adult, but even a small child will be attracted. It is on the same pattern of A, B, C, D. If you have looked at it, it says ma, ba, wa, fa, are from the lips. That's basically how it is. So this will be taught more than one time. Every time you enter into a lesson, it will be taught, and you have different tashkil, you have different harakat. When it is the chapter of Fatha, which is the A sound, Kasra, E sound. When you have the Dhamma, U sound. So if you have the Mad, then it will be added with the Mad, so on and so forth. Now, we come to the part where we recite Lafzul Jalala so many times a day in just one salah. Okay, for example, just the Fara'id only, you start in Takbiratul Ihram, you say Allahu Akbar. You say Takbir for Ruku, you say Allahu Akbar. And then you say Takbir when you are standing up from Ruku, and you say Sami Allahu Liman Hamida. And then you go down Allahu Akbar into sajda. Then you come back up for the first sajda, after the first sajda. Then you go back to the second sajda, and then the cycle repeats again, and you start your rak'ah all over again. Total 15 times you recite, and you recite it so much that now it's very hard for you to get rid of. So therefore, try to see if you can free your mind and try to say something like this. You know, L-A-W in English, how do you pronounce it? If you say la, then that is definitely not right. You say L-A-W is law. So the equation that we want to share with you is A-L-L plus L-A-W, law, plus H, Allah. That's how you're supposed to say it. L, law, Allah. So I hope that you can practice this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and it will make it easy. Don't let the tongue slip. It will take you a little bit of time, but once you get it, inshallah, after that, you won't make a mistake. So you say Allah. It's not Allah also. Remember the alif part. You see the a. It is not all. It is wrong. So you say a and then law. So it takes time. So Allah, Allah. So it is L, law, L, law. That's how you say Allah. So Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Now if you change the word Lafzul Jalala and you make it flat, right? And it sounds something like this. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It doesn't sound. You don't feel that voltage. You don't feel that connection. So the minute you fix the pronunciation of Lafzul Jalala, it makes a huge, huge difference. This is the magic of Tajweed. This is the essence of Tajweed. So if you know how to recite with proper makharij, it makes a huge difference. The next example we have is Allahu. Allahu. Now you have dhamma on ha. So you say Allahu. Next is minallahi. 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 So you say it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then it will come to you, inshallah. So you have Allah, Allahu, minallahi. So let's take an example now of Surah Al-Ikhlas itself. A'udhu billahi. Now over here, if you look at billah, see, we haven't started learning the rules, but I will still give you like a wonderful tip that you can take with you. So anytime you have lam with tajdeed, lam shadda, before that you have a kasra, it will always be flat. So billah, you don't say billah, you say billah. So a'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillah. Again over here, bismillah. This is what? Flat. You cannot make it thick. So you say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Combine both of them together so that you have the rhythm, you have the flow. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The first ayah, Qul huwallahu. Qul hu. Qul walla. No. Qul hu wallah. Now, wa is flat, but Allah is thick. So, Qul hu wallah. And remember that lam which has the tajdeed, that's the only part which is thick. So you go into wal, flat, and then the lam itself, that will become thick. So you say, Qul hu wallah, it is wrong. So, Qul hu Allahu ahad. The next is Allah, Allahu samad. So this is how you say it. Another example that we have is in Surah Al-Nasr. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Idha jaa Nasrullahi or Nasrullahi. So you say it thick. So you have the lam with tashdid, and before that you have what? The dhamma. So you say nasru, nasrullahi, إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله. No, you don't say في دين الله. Say في دين الله. Flat. You flatten it automatically. So these are the kind of tips that will be taught to you, inshallah. Okay. So in order for you to learn lafzul jalala, it may take you a while, but for us to teach, it will take less time. So inshallah, we are planning to have registrations for the full course. Anybody who is interested to participate in this course. This is only an introduction. This is to make aware about the importance and the significance of this unique methodology of learning Tajweed. Anybody who is interested, please contact the organizers. You have the contact. Make sure that you register and show your interest, which kind of method you would be interested in. And accordingly, we'll try to entertain your request, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. At the same time, we're planning, hopefully, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Weekly, one session, we'll make it live, either Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And we'll take one rule at a time. This way, we don't have to worry about, I would say, people coming, going, and getting an opportunity to recite or not. If you're really, really interested in checking how your recitation is, try to record your audio using any kind of software or just a simple recorder and send it off to the contact that has been given to you either by email or WhatsApp, and inshallah, we will get back to you, bi'iznillahi ta'ala. Now we come to a very important aspect of the throat, the throat. Now throat has 6 letters, okay? Organizers, how are we doing with the time? I just want to make sure that we're following the time properly. How much time do we have left?
Yeah, you have 20 minutes more.
Alhamdulillah, that's good. Okay. Yes, we have to give a few minutes for the Q&A, inshallah. So I'll probably end within 10 minutes or so, inshallah. Okay, so these 2 letters, which are Ain and Ha. Okay, so you lift your throat up, okay, and you take these 2 fingers. Try to swallow. And once you swallow, you find this small bone that goes up and down. That particular bone, you try to locate it with your thumb. If you can locate it with your thumb like this, okay, and press lightly, don't press too hard. Otherwise, it's difficult during the lockdown time to get an ambulance to your home immediately. Okay, you don't want to pass out. Very lightly, just press there. So if you press there, that is the exact point where A and Ha comes from. So you say A, Ha, A, Ha. So we're going to take the example of Surah Al-Fatiha because it is a very, very important surah that we recite in every salah, in every rak'ah, and every time you want to stand up for salah, it has to be recited. So we'll start off with the first ayah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now you see, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You have the 2 ha here. Majority of the times, the first ha is easy. The second ha after that, many people tend to probably fall down. When I say fall down means it becomes into ha. It doesn't remain ha. The reason for that is you're losing your breath. And it sounds something like this. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It becomes Rahim. And that's because you're losing your breathing. So take a deep breath. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So the ha and ha have to go hand in hand together. Once you have that, then it's easier for you to continue. You say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaytanir Rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You start the first ayah. Alhamdu, not Alhamdu. Ha, ha. So until you are acquainted and you get used to, do not remove your thumb. Slowly or lightly press that point and you say Alham, Alhamdu, Alhamdu Lillahi Rabbil Alamin. Now combine it together and say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. MashaAllah. You go to the next one. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. If you recite it separately, it's easy. But when you combine it together, that's when it becomes hard. So take a deep breath. It has a huge, huge effect on your recitation. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Next, Malik Yawmiddin, you don't have anything. Iyyaka, again, you don't have anything. Iyyaka. Na'budu. Now, don't say na'budu, na'budu. No. Na'budu. Na'budu. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Nasta'in. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. We don't have anything in Ain and Ha. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, but we have Qa. We will when we study that, then that will come into application, inshallah. صراط الذين أنعمت. An'amta. Here is a tongue twister or a mind twister. So many times, a lot of people fall prey to an'amta. No, one is a, the other one is a. So an'amta, an'amta alayhim. Again, alayhim. An'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. ولا الضالين. Combine the whole surah together. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ameen. So you finish Surah Al-Fatiha and we covered only 2 letters, Ain and Ha. Similarly, we take the rest of the letters and we take rest of the rules, and Surah Al-Fatiha itself has more than 60 to 70% of the rules of recitation. So if somebody knows Surah Al-Fatiha properly, they know pretty much how to recite the Quran properly. So inshallah, we will practice that later on. Now I can come to the last part of our presentation of our program today, and that is the tones and the modes of recitation. Alhamdulillah, we covered the Tajweed and we understood the Tajweed, which is reciting the Quran with Makharij, the pronunciation, the exits, and Sifaat, characteristics of letters, the rules of recitation, Mudud, how to stretch, when to stop, and when not to stop. And the aspect of recitation has to do with tartil, where it has what? Rules of recitation plus beautification of your voice. In not one but 2 different ahadith, it says, مَنْ لَمْ يَتَغَنَّى بِالْقُرْآنِ فَلَيْسَ مِنَّا أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. So whosoever does not recite the Quran by beautifying it is not amongst us. Another narration, it says, زَيِّنُوا الْقُرْآنَ بِأَصْوَاتِكُمْ. Beautify the recitation of the Quran with your voice. So many people misunderstand that recitation of the Quran is definitely not equal to music. You cannot combine singing with Quran. So if you say Alhamdulillah, that is wrong. Why? Because you are not following the rules of recitation. If somebody follows the rules of recitation, then you cannot go wrong. So you are following the proper system of the rules of recitation, and it is simple, but if you add a little flavor of your voice, then it will automatically become beautiful, and you start feeling motivated to continue and carry on and finish perhaps half a page, whatever is easy for you. Now, there are different types of recitation. Quran has been revealed in many different ways. And this is not the topic for our presentation, but it is important for us to understand. How many of you know a famous boxer? It's easy for you to come up with a name immediately, right? How many of you know a famous cricketer? It's easy for us to understand, and we can name a famous cricketer. But if we ask, what is the kind of recitation we do every single day? This is where we start thinking, we say, I'm really not sure. So the name of this recitation is Hafs an Asim. This is the kind of recitation we are used to. It is quite common. So the Quran has been revealed in 7 different types. So this is what I'm talking about, various types of recitation. Okay, so we'll talk about that later, inshallah. Okay, and the one that I'm talking is vanilla ice cream, which is a flavor, right? It is one style of recitation. And then you have the next one is chocolate ice cream, which is another flavor. What is vanilla ice cream? Sheikh Abdurrahman Sudais, okay? Or you have perhaps Sheikh Saud al-Sharif. So these are different flavors of with that, alhamdulillah, you pick any flavor you want, like Sheikh Sudais, you take Sheikh Shuraim, you take Sheikh Abdurrahman Hudayfi, or Sheikh Abdul Basit. Sheikh Sudais sounds something like Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So you can choose whatever you want. Sheikh Saud al-Sharif, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Sheikh Abdurrahman Hudayfi, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Then you have Sheikh Ali Jabir, Allah yarhamuh, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, until the end. And finally you have Sheikh Abdul Basit, which is the highest form of recitation, the slowest form of recitation, and it sounds something Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, like this. So with that, alhamdulillah, we come to the end of our program. Jazakumullah khair. It was a great pleasure for me to share with you the concept of Tajweed in a slow and easy manner. I hope that you're able to grasp this concept, and inshallah, if we have time and permission from the organizers, we'll try to entertain some of the questions. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to learn the Quran the easy way, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khairan, ya Sheikh Qari Imran Khan bhai. We will open the chatting box to entertain few questions if time permits, and brother Qari Imran can answer. Inshallah, I will open the chat box. If anyone to have some questions, just raise the hands. I will not accommodate all the people, and a few of them question we will entertain here, inshallah. So who will be in the top and the raising the hands, I will give them the unmute. You guys just ask the question. I try to get an answer from brother Qari Imran Khan, inshallah. So the first question coming from Ahmad Salman. I will unmute you.
What is the question? I can't see the question. How to hold breath during recitation. Okay. Now again, in order for us to hold the breath, you have to basically take a deep breath, inhale oxygen, and try to exhale carbon dioxide slowly, and do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. I'm sure that it will become easy for you. Another way to do that is take 1 or 2 balloons every day and try to blow into a balloon. It will increase your breathing capacity.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Imran, thank you for your session. MashaAllah, it was a very useful session. Just I have a doubt because I have heard a lot of Qaris reciting, like you said, like Sheikh Ali Jabir. Normally we recite, there are, I think so, a lot of rules, like maybe 10 or something rules, the way of recitation.
Sorry, I'm not
Some
able to.
people normally we recite like alif, lam, mim. Right, to hear me?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again, please?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I'm talking about the rules, like where it says some qaris I have heard, like we say وَإِذْ قَالَ Musa. So this is normally like how we read وَإِذْ قَالَ Musa something. So some qaris I have seen them or hear them reciting like Musa, Re. What is the rule of that?
Very good.
Like Sheikh Ali Jabir.
That is called as the modes of recitation. What I asked you, that how many of us know which kind of recitation do we recite every day? Surah Al-Fatiha.
That's right.
The entire Quran we're reading every day in Hafs and Asim. If we change the recitation to Warsh ibn Nafi' or Qalun ibn Nafi', Surah Al-Fatiha will change. For example, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin. Not Maliki, but Maliki. So this is a different recitation. And when it comes to Ghayr al-Maghdubi alayhim and Sirat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim, this meme will change into mu. For example, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So this is a different type of recitation. So that's why you say. So Musa is called as Imala. In our recitation, Hafs and Asim, we have only one place in the entire Quran. Bismillahi majreha wa mursaha. So right. This one is called, yes, this one is called Imala Sughra. It is a small type of slanted recitation.
Jazakallah, Sheikh. Jazakallah.
Yes. Okay, I need somebody to moderate. We have a huge amount of questions where I think it would take probably more than an hour just to go through every single question. So if we can just take a look at some of the questions, that will be really appreciated. Take a record of all the questions and inshallah, I'll make it a point to answer every single one of them, bismillah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Myself, Muhammad Tanveer. I just wanted to ask, okay, because when I say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, sometimes I get confused, you know, with the words like, is it Bismillah Rahman Rahim or Bismillah Rahman Rahim? Like, I get a little bit confused. So will we get in the email to contact you in future to clear our doubts? That's what I want to ask.
No problem. Inshallah. Definitely. No issues. Inshallah. No problem.
That's it. I just, okay. I'll wait for your email. Thank you very much. And
welcome.
My brother Salman Siddiqui is also saying Assalamu alaikum from Kuwait. This session was really beautiful. We appreciate it.
Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair. Okay.
Thank you.
Go to the top and see the questions. Assalamu alaikum. Why don't we find your videos like you're reciting a surah? Yes, that is taqsir or probably, you know, lack of my participation in the technical world because of different commitments. Inshallah, we're planning to have a small video recording session, bismillah. So we will have that very soon, inshallah. I'm planning to have my own YouTube channel very soon, bismillah. Okay.
Inshallah.
Yes.
We'll take one question from Haja Muhammad.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes. What's the question? Okay, if that's not your voice. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Haja Muhammad, can you hear me?
There is a question that talks about the statement of Ali radiallahu anhu about tartil is not traceable by a chain. Inshallah, this is something that I've heard from my teacher directly. I'll try to see if I can get you that chain, inshallah. So whatever I'm saying is not coming from, inshallah. Okay. Very good. MashaAllah. Hassan Asim, Tariq Shatibiya, very good, MashaAllah. Good. Okay, so we were advanced students, MashaAllah. Excellent. What else? How to hold? We have already. Assalamu alaikum. I have a question. We know certainly we get more thawab to recite, but if we don't do it correctly while learning to do so, the simple answer is we have in the hadith which says, you know, or anything like that. That's absolutely fine while you're learning, because it says وَالَّذِي يَقْرَأُ الْقُرْآنَ وَيَتَتَعْتَعُ فِيهِ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِ شَاقٌّ لَهُ أَجْرَانِ. The person who recites the Quran and they have difficulty in reciting the Quran, and they basically get double reward. So ajr tilawa by default and ajr al-mashaqqa because of their hardship. So that is a unique mercy for all of us. Okay. Next. Is it mandatory to be certified and have ijazah to teach the Quran? Is it mandatory for us to get a degree? Is it necessary for us to have some kind of certification to get a job somewhere? Is it necessary for us to be qualified once you study? You can answer that question yourself, but this is in regards to the revelation of the Quran, which has been revealed to us, and Imam Ibn Jazari has said it very nicely. Okay, and he has said that a person who recites the Quran, مَنْ لَمْ يُصَحِّحِ الْقُرْآنَ آثِمٌ, whosoever does not recite the Quran properly is a sinner. Why? لِأَنَّهُ بِهِ الْإِلَهُ أَنزَلَ, because that is the way how it has been revealed to us. وَهَكَذَا مِنْهُ إِلَيْنَا وَصَلَ, and that is the way how it has come to us. So in order for us to get some kind of, I would say, certification, if not all the way to the ijazah, something simple from your locality, somewhere from your madrasa, somewhere probably from a small teacher, then that should suffice, inshallah. But if you want to teach others, then it is highly recommended that you take ijazah. Next question, why Abdul Basit is reciting different? There are 3 levels of recitation. You have Qira'atul Hadr, which is the fastest form. You have Qira'atul Tajweed, which is the medium form. And then you have Qira'atul Tahqiq or Qira'atul Tajweed. So that type that Sheikh Abdul Basit is reciting is one of the tones, you can say. Another example is, you know, we have the adhan that we hear in Mecca. So you have Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You have this kind. And then in Sham or in Egypt, we have Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Then that's different. Both of them are acceptable. So you can understand it from that point of view.
Jazakallah khair. We will take one question from Shifa. Go ahead, Safia.
Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to know how to improve a person's tilawa if she is reading all the letters mufakham. It has been noticed that even while talking in her mother tongue, all her letters are coming mufakham. So how to improve that?
Okay. If it is a medical issue, if it is a clinical issue, then it's better than, or perhaps it's completely fine to continue doing so, because you do something known as qadrul istita'a, whatever you can as per your capability, as per your capacity. And if you cannot do that, then you get ajr equivalent to the person who is mahir. So it's completely fine. You try your level best, try to show them the most effective method, the most easiest method, saying that you're supposed to say it like this. If they cannot get it, then it's completely fine, inshallah. And we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept their recitation.
Jazakallah. Maimuna Fardos, you can ask your question. I unmute you. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Here in Saudi Arabia, we live here. So I have been learning here since maybe when I was 3rd, 4th year. Now I'm 16 years and
okay.
I have finished 4 juz, hifd, and I would like to imitate reciters. So how is that possible?
Okay, you want to imitate some reciters, right? So what you do is try to do 2 things. Number 1, try to see if you can listen to some of the reciters, some of the Qur'an who have something close to your frequency. If you try to overdo someone, for example, my voice doesn't match Shaykh Abdurrahman Sudais. Probably I can try to imitate him for 1 or 2 ayat. After that, it's not possible. To get a form, you can listen to someone perhaps like Muhammad Ayub or Khalil Husari, and then there are many different reciters. Try to listen to them from small surahs, not big ayat, just small surahs, and see if you can record your own voice and listen to it in privacy, and try to see if you can catch some of the mistakes. There are 3 things that are common in every reciter in this world, and that is the alif maddiya, waw maddiya, and ya maddiya. So a, e, u. So if you're able to catch those 3 mudud, then you can get it, inshallah. Eventually, your target is not to recite like them, but perhaps to create your own rhythm, to create your own style, inshallah.
How do I identify the frequency which is matching with the reciter?
Okay, so you recite, before you recite, you listen. For example, now you have a medium form of recitation. So listen to, I would say, like Sheikh Saad al-Ghamdi is there. You have simple, like Sadiq Minshawi is there. Listen to a couple of people who are reciting, not Taraweeh recitation, but normal recitation, studio recitation. Okay. Listen to Surah Al-Ikhlas. So listen to 3 reciters of Surah Al-Ikhlas and see, some of the reciters will have a very thick way of reciting. So that will not apply to you. Someone who is medium to you, inshallah, I think that you will be able to do it. And the best thing is, if you can contact the organizers, they will connect you with a female teacher, inshallah, and they can assist you much more easier, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Wasim Basha, you can ask a question.
Walaikum salam rahmatullah. I can't hear you. Can you just increase your volume, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. This is okay. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. I just wanted to learn the correct Tajweed because I'm trying at my level best to recite. Still, okay. I'm lacking behind. I'm from India, so I just want somebody who can, with whom I can go and recite, like in someone, if you know, in Bangalore or something. Because I tried learning.
Contact our organizers. They'll try to arrange something, inshallah. This day and age, alhamdulillah, we can connect from any part of the world. And inshallah, you'll be able to learn in a very less time, bismillah. So don't worry. Just contact them.
Wasim Basha, I recommend you to send the email, the same email. You will have some material after the course of events. Inshallah, you will be in touch with us and we will guide you. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Can I get the...
Next question goes Ibrahim. Brother Ibrahim, you can raise your question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just have a small suggestion, please. The thing is, we live in Kuwait, and in the Arab world over here, we have children going to Madaris or somewhere to learn Quran or something. But in India, it is difficult for children to go, especially for the girls. It is difficult for them to learn Quran or something after a certain age. So can we develop all together or something, some well-known persons who are there, an app which can help them for help doing this, basically in India, and spread this throughout our community? That's my suggestion.
Jazakallah khairan. Your suggestion, inshallah, we are planning it, and in larger scale, we will execute through the Quran Academy, inshallah, from Chennai. You'll be in touch with us, inshallah, Brother Ibrahim. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah.
And we take a few more questions, brothers. We have very short of time already. All of them fasting. We need to fast tomorrow morning, so we need a lot of energy. I'll take 2 more questions from Brother Adam Rashid. Brother Adam Rashid, go ahead.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your Tajweed class was so nice, but I have some difficulty in pronouncing ain and ha. So can you give me some tips to how I can change it? These many days I did that mistake. Now you said that ain, if we change a small word also, it will make the big change in the meaning. So I am having difficulty in pronouncing ain. That sound is not coming for me properly. Can you give me any easy tips to how I can pronounce the ain?
Okay. Basically, I showed you the technique, right? Try to see if you can locate your throat Okay, go up and down and try to swallow. Okay, try to see if you can swallow a little bit. And you see that small bone. Okay, once you locate that bone, just try to press it properly, and then you'll locate the proper makharaj of ayn and ha. It's easy. If it's not possible, then ask somebody else to help you look at your throat, and then it will be easy for you to pronounce it, inshallah. You do your best and try 1 time, 2 times, and also try to do like that, and inshallah, it will come out. So it comes with practice. Many a times it is subconsciously we feel that, okay, I don't know, but try 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, inshallah it will come. Okay.
Jazakallah khair. We have one more question or two from Shifa Ajmal.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Your session is, mashallah, very informative. Alhamdulillah. That I want to ask that question. Just one boy asked before me that ayn and ha, that whenever I want to learn anyone, that only the mistake is coming from ayn, because in female there is not middle bone is not there in the neck. So when we tell them that they make sound very ugly, like vomit, like that. So what is the trick we could them understand that budu like that? How much need to give stress? How much?
That's it. Halas, you are doing it now, mashallah. You are able to take it out. Just try to make it separate. When you are saying na, just say ear, or. If you can do that, halas, you are done. Okay. For this, I recommend that you contact our organizers, inshallah. They will connect you to a female teacher where you can learn 1-to-1, inshallah, and you'll be really relaxed trying to practice your recitation.
Jazakallah. Thank you. We will take few more questions, Qari, brother. 1 minute. I'll entertain few questions. Adil Jalani.
Okay. Adil Jalani.
Walaikum
salam wa rahmatullah. Adil, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, doing great. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for your session. It was very informative. I just wanted to ask you about these different ice creams as well.
I can't hear you.
I also want to tell you about different ice creams which you were saying, how important it is, and should we go along that path or not? The different ice creams which you were saying, the vanilla ice cream, the chocolate ice cream.
Right, that has to do with, I would say, the advanced level. Once you're done with the rules of recitation, Tajweed is done, and then you go on the path of the ice cream or qira'ah. Because many times what happens is many people try to learn qira'ah before Tajweed, and that is wrong. So if you know the rules of recitation, then you can recite in any style you want. So basically that's what my intention is. Secondly, is you have your natural voice, and that voice matches someone's recitation, which could be a little close. Okay, this way, alhamdulillah, you're able to recite somewhat similar to Sheikh Sudais, perhaps, or Sheikh Saudi Sharif, or anyone else who you feel is close to your heart, inshallah. Okay.
I hope actually we have to close the session now, I believe. And can we take for 5 minutes more, brother Karni Imran Khan? If you can, you can give permission, then I can take 3 more questions.
No problem, inshallah. Inshallah, it is Ramadan, inshallah, so we have to be extra merciful. No problem.
Okay. 1 minute, I can see the participants who are raising hands. Bibi Fatima. Bibi Fatima, you can ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My question is that I'm interested in learning Qiraat. Would you give us online classes?
Basically, I give classes for Qira'ah or Tajweed to mostly the males. But if you're interested on Qira'ah class, then we have female teachers who can help you. I can give you some tips and pointers to make it easy for you, inshallah. But to teach Qira'ah, we don't do that at the moment. But if you have any doubt, any clarification after you learn from any female teacher, I would be more than happy to assist you, inshallah.
Okay, sir. And other question is, while recitation,
Sister, one
breathing
question only
difficulties.
allowed, and you can be in touch with him, through our emails, inshallah, because we have a lot of plenty of questions on the queue. We are not able to answer everything. So you can come by email, inshallah. We will take it to the right people, and Brother Qari Imran will answer it by email, inshallah.
Okay, sir. Jazakallah khair.
We'll take a few more questions from Salman Anis. I will unmute you. Or Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam.
Qari Imran, how are you? We met in Jeddah before. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm Abu Imran. My son is Imran also. Inshallah. Basically, I want to know this Tajweed class, mashallah, we are learning, but how about testing and all? How we are going to be certified, tested, and who is going to say we is correct and all,
Right. Yes, I mentioned to you, I think, were you there in the lecture the whole time?
Yeah, most part, yes.
Okay, probably you may have missed it. I said that anybody who's interested to participate, they can join our class by sending an email, and then we will register them accordingly, according to the level they are at, and then we will tell you how to do your participation, whether you send us an audio part or we have a different type of system where we can talk to you directly one-to-one, and inshallah, this way we will be able to assist you, bismillah.
Jazakallah khair. From here, we will finish all question and answer. If any questions, if you raise, please do keep in by email. Inshallah, we will get back to Brother Qari Imran. We will get back to you by email through the email channel, inshallah. From there, we can able to finish the timing because we are exiting 15 minutes more, Brother Qari Imran. Jazakumullah khairan. We'll close the end of the session.
Okay.
Maulavi.
Hands up.
Yes.
Yes. A request from participant to recite Adhan. Finally, it will be.
Actually, there was a lot of requests from me also came through the chat box. I told them we are planning to have a Adhan course, coming week. We are scheduling it. We will have a very enlightening about Adhan soon. We are planning, but still there are a lot of requests, humbly requesting from the viewers. I am also recommending Brother Qari Imran, if you can give about the one Adhan recitation, that will be much better. We will close it, inshallah, from there.
Inshallah. So I'll just give you one step, inshallah. Okay. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. Okay, we have a question here. What does it say? How do I come? Please clarify. What is your question? Okay, we have one question. Says, please clarify my doubt. What was your doubt, please? Abdul Khalid, what is your?
Okay, Brother Qari Imran will finish from this.
Okay.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Muhammad, Sheikh, your
My
opinion?
doubt is,
something that we should try our best to avoid, because it goes into the realm of music. As long as it doesn't change the meaning, then it will be fine. But overdoing it, then that is not proper, as per Sheikh Dr. Ayman Sued, and that is his opinion. But I feel that as long as you know the rules of recitation and you can recite with a little bit of qira'ah, then that should be fine, inshallah. Okay, when the ayah of rahmah is being mentioned, you know how to change the tone. That is called as maqamat. Simple. So you don't have to go necessarily and learn maqamat. Automatically the message of the Quran will teach you maqamat bidnillah. Okay.
Jazakallah khairan. Inshallah, we are end of the session now. I recommend all the members who participated in this call, please have all questions through the chat box, or you can send official email to us. We'll get back to you. We are planning more program through help of support of Brother Qari Imran in coming days during Ramadan. Inshallah, give us full support, and we will do our level best to reach you. Inshallah. Okay. Just you can finish the program, Brother Qari Imran.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the organizers, the Tamil Chennai chapter of Understand the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to recite the Quran the way it is supposed to be recited, understand the Quran the way it's supposed to be understood, and implement the teachings of the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to be a wonderful, light to spread this message, because, it says, Hudan linnas. It is a guidance for mankind. If we ourselves are not equipped, we cannot share this to others. Wa sallallahu ala nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair.